Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Friends, Facts, and Fiction. As always, this podcast is made possible by our local convenience stores, the misappropriation of history, and you. And now to your hosts, Justin Hammonds, Brant Bramlett, and Drew Shellnut.
What's up? What's happening, world? This is a podcast called Friends, Facts, and Fiction, Season 6. More shit in the mix. Episode 2, Piggly Wiggly Shenanigans. And we'll get into that here in a second. But I'm Justin Hammonds, looking at my boy, Drew Shellnut.
Hello.
My boy, Grant Bramlett.
Hello. By the way, that sounds like they're like cheap shenanigans or shenanigans I just don't fucking want.
I mean, Piggly Wiggly Shenanigans?
Yeah.
Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly
Let's go fuck up that Piggy Wiggy sign.
And we have our in-house editor, Julie Francis, in the building again.
I only shop at Hoggly Woggly.
Oh no, Hoggly Woggly.
Go down to Hog Wogs.
It's more my vibe.
Get you
more
some
my
crack
speed.
buns.
You know, he said he came up with the title because it just hit him in the head like electricity.
This sounds like a guy I want to hear about.
Is his name Doc Brown?
It's a weird one.
Right.
Was he trying to change a light bulb?
Heavy. There's that word
Like a
again.
shock of electricity just hit me.
The flux capacitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tesla ripoff.
It just came
Gigawatts,
to him.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just came to him.
Anyway, how we doing now? How's everybody going?
Yeah.
Everybody good?
Oh, nice and sticky.
A little slimy.
It's humid down here in the south.
Damp.
It's thick out here.
Yeah,
Moist.
we literally, like, the first 10 minutes that we were at the job site this morning, like, we were standing there in dripping water. Like, we weren't working. And it was just like, wait.
It's just straight up and down, thick and the warm, you know?
Thick and the warm, dog. Thick and the warm. You know, I like thick and warm. It's nice. Thick and the
Sex with a lady.
God. Anyway. Oh, man.
Bad things.
Grant, you're super excited about this movie you've seen recently, right?
Yeah, I did what I usually do, and there's a movie that's like, that looks good, and then I won't watch it for several months.
Yeah.
Finally got around to
At
watching
this point,
it.
like a year or so.
I know. I'm too fucking busy to be watching all these damn movies they're putting out all the time.
You beat me. You got there first.
That's true. That's true. I did. But it's called The Menu, and it was bad fucking ass.
It is a pretty great film.
Is that actor from the chess show that got real popular? Real pretty lady.
Yeah. The big eyes.
Yeah.
What's her name?
That's
The
a good
Queen's
explanation.
Gambit is the
Queen's
show.
Gambit. And it's starred by.
At the IMDb this.
Oh my
Live
God.
credits.
The Menu. Google.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, you're just
the
referring to
actor-
her.
Yeah,
Yes.
the actor.
Gotcha.
To Anya Taylor.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
She did a fantastic job as a an escort
Yes.
in the film.
She was super hot with the red hair. Not gonna lie.
Actually, yeah, really.
Super
was.
hot with the red hair.
It was,
And the,
that little dress. I mean,
and the
come
Doc
on.
Martens, bro. Come on.
I know, it was
the
good.
Doc boots
It was
with the
good.
dress. Come on, bro.
It
You
made
know,
me
that's
feel
all me.
things. Made me feel things. But anyways, in case anybody hasn't seen it, I guess I'm talking to Julie as far as The Room is concerned. It's like the epitome of like ultra fine dining restaurants. You know what I mean? So that you like get on a chartered boat, you go to this private island that's owned by the Shell Corporation that runs or owns this restaurant.
This is a very exclusive chef. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get a meal from this chef unless you pay grands. And
Yeah, he's got like
Grand
17 Michelin stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is
And
nuts, yeah.
things feel weird from the beginning. You know, a lot of that's due to the soundtrack and the editing. They did a great job.
Yeah, they did.
The cinematography is great.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job in providing that intensity.
That eeriness.
Uh-huh.
Why are you here vibe.
And then it goes to the point where something's like straight up and down not cool. And then we find out slowly that the chef is...
And no spoilers.
I know, is unhinged. That's all we're going to say. But I absolutely loved, there's so many lines in it. The way that it was written
Yeah.
is, it feels like an episode of like Chef's Table, once they get into the actual like coursing of it, everything like that.
Yeah.
And they do
And
the
then
still shot of the dish and then like the explanation on it. And it gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
That kitchen was badass too.
That kitchen was
Jesus Christ,
amazing.
that
Yes, it
kitchen
was.
gorgeous.
But
Yes,
like
it was.
all of the chefs and or the staff, if you will, they all like sleep on the island. very militant. They just have like these cots, and it was really strange that they like walked the guests through their like domicile
area,
if you will, building up to this, because it's like I don't know. It was in that moment I'm thinking like, well, you wouldn't do this, and so it's causing me a little bit of like issues with suspension of disbelief when it comes to watching the movie. But then as it goes on longer, I'm like, wait a minute. They're setting up. This feels like a different dining experience than they've ever done before, But the end, again, I'm trying my best for no spoilers, other than the fact that they shit so hard on like a classic American cuisine, if you will.
Yes.
That I just in that moment, I'm like, fucking yes! I felt vindicated in that. I've never really liked that particular American delicacy. And then the way it's described, it's like, yes, why haven't I managed to put all of these thoughts so effectively into place?
Because you're not that cynical, my boy.
Well, that's fair. But it's like, overly processed this and that and the other. I'm not going to give it away because like the little chef's table style still where it has it listed out is just one of the most amazing. And I'm saying this to this room just because we're all pretty massively jaded when it comes to like the service industry, the restaurant, hospitality industry. And, I mean, pretty much, I'd say about a third of the way through the movie, I was like, oh, the dude that wrote this has been living this
100%.
Experience at least for a long time.
He's definitely worked in a nice kitchen in like New York or LA, for sure.
Yeah, you can just
Had to
feel it.
at one point. Yeah.
There's so many subtleties to it. Either that or they got they paid
Good
someone
references.
a lot of money to be like the on-set consultant for it because
It goes from chef's table to Black Mirror real quick.
there you go.
It's real swift.
Yeah.
So this is where my head goes with it because I have not seen it. Have y'all all seen
We've
it?
all seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it immediately.
Yeah.
So this is
You know
where
me.
this is where my brain goes. So just know I haven't seen it. This isn't spoilers if it's true, but this is what
But this will be
think.
fun. Yeah, let's predict how right you may be.
So as far as American cuisine and pastimes go, Nathan's they do those things every year. I feel like the possibility of somebody doing their fine dining shtick towards the idea of hot dogs and sausage.
I see where you're coming from.
I-
I'll go ahead and tell you you're wrong, and I just want you to guess again. It's a dessert.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the last course.
Oh, okay. So it's the last course. Got it. Okay. So if it's a dessert and it's the classic American dessert, God, I don't know. Like my brain goes to like Domino's hot lava cakes because we're just terrible
Jesus
people.
Christ.
We're awful people.
Think older, but you're right there.
That's
Like
good
you're
stuff.
close. Just think older, and then I can give it away, not by telling you, but there's a clue in my head that'll absolutely give it away immediately.
Well, my brain went to, seeing how the sausage is made and like all the analogies to it was kind of
I see what you're saying.
walking through the workers'
Barracks.
domicile, the barracks and everything, where it's the like here you're eating it, this is what you're eating, and then you find out that it's other guests or something like that.
That'd
So
be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun sequel for the menu.
You're close. You're close with that idea.
Yeah, like
actually,
it was the idea of how is the sausage made, and then eating people. That's all that I had.
Not quite that far, but it gets pretty dark.
Okay,
I will say that.
well, it's definitely been on my
the
list
menu.
for a year.
It's
just
fantastic.
like everybody.
Yeah, it's a
really good
Y'all just
movie.
got there.
Great acting.
I craved like a classic cheeseburger as soon as that movie was done, though. I will say that.
Yeah, and you will too. The menu. Oh man, we need to get sponsored.
Right? That's what I was about to say. Like, where's the
That was not a sponsor. We just liked that fucking movie a lot. So
we need them ducats.
the movie of the day of the week.
Yeah, movie of the day of the week. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Nah,
See if we get
doesn't flow that
episodes
well.
pull for that.
Yeah.
Fuckers. Anyway.
Come at me.
You know. At least we're seen.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. Speaking of the menu and food and such, imagine a time before modern grocery stores.
Don't fall off that segue. You're riding too fast, baby.
Get comfortable, guys. Settle in. Take that next toke. Watch out for oncoming traffic.
It's good. That's
People
Foley
can't
work.
drive. Yeah,
It's good Foley work.
yeah, that's good stuff right there.
Sound effects.
Live soundboard.
You ain't lying.
But yeah, we can get into some Piggly Wiggly shenanigans, if you will.
Piggy Wiggy.
Piggly Wiggly. And if you don't know, it's a grocery store. Yeah.
I'd be amazed. Well,
If somebody didn't know, Piggly Wiggly.
I mean, there's some like non-Americans for sure, but I feel like
How
everybody.
far up north does Piggly Wiggly
I feel
go?
like it's exclusively southeast.
I think
thing.
it's just southeast.
Yeah.
It was the first modern grocery store, so they spread around
Yeah.
the country.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And then it got all the way down to back to the south.
It got drawn back
Started in
into the
Memphis.
southeast, but it's still kind of a staple up in like the Midwest and stuff.
Piggly Wiggly.
well,
the
Midwest.
IGAs and shit. There's a
Yeah.
little side skirt of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the what's it? International Growers Association, some shit. Anyway,
I don't know.
Grocers. Grocers.
Mm.
That's it. Yeah. International Grocers Association.
I think that's it. We might be wrong. Fact check that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Who's the grossest?
Jesus Christ.
There you go.
All right. Imagine a time before the modern grocery store. Oh, I'm in movie mode. A time where you would walk into a shop with your own grocery list and walk up to the counter and hand that list to a grocer and patiently wait while the grocer goes and collects all of the product, weigh it out, and charge you the cost, or in most cases, just put it on credit and you pay the bill over time. For a very long time, this is how everyone got the food they needed if they were not growing it themselves. It allowed a lot of mom and pop businesses to thrive and gave the public organic, locally sourced goods. Now, this form of the grocery store was the backbone of his community, truly helping the communities thrive and stay healthy. Because, the shit's grown down the street.
Yeah.
Well, in the year 1916, that would all change because of one grocery store that truly took the world by storm, called Piggly Wiggly.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
But before we break down how Piggly Wiggly changed the world, we have to meet the man behind it all, Clarence Saunders.
Quick pause. I just looked it up. Nowadays, there are it's all over the southeast, and then a fuck ton in Michigan.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
No wonder Michigan wants to join the SEC.
Is that where they get their water?
Oh, wow.
Brutal.
That's an honest question.
It could be worse. Like if they just went a little bit further south, Indiana, Ohio.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Not Michigan, Wisconsin.
Jeez.
I know.
Jesus.
I'm the worst. So Alabama has 105 stores. Wisconsin has 92 stores. Georgia has 67. And then it kind of goes down from there, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Tennessee, Louisiana,
Okay.
Florida, West Virginia.
Nice.
Isn't that crazy? Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, bro. Shouts out to the Wisconsinites out there, man.
I bet you they got some badass cheese curds in that Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Whole bunch of space heaters. Clarence.
$4.99 a pound.
Because it's cold.
Because it's colder for longer up there. Not given it gets hot as shit in Wisconsin, but it's colder for longer for sure. Clarence Saunders was born in Amherst County, Virginia, on a farm in 1881. His mom died, Mary. She died when he was young, and his dad, Abram, served in the Confederate Army under old Stonewall Jackson.
Oh, shit.
So
It's royalty, baby.
kind of where he can see where Clarence Saunders' mindset is as a child.
Right.
But
So good.
after
Yeah. Just this highfalutin, high society. Yeah.
after those fucks lost, Abram moved him and his son to Montgomery County, Tennessee, where he worked as a laborer and a sharecropper. Clarence also began working at the plantation at a young age. By the time he was 11, he was working in a sawmill and a limestone kiln during the summer, and he got a job at a general store during the holidays. So this motherfucker was really out here.
Sounds like
you know
me.
what I mean? He's fucking doing
Right?
everything.
It does. It does
Before
sound
he was
like
a
Grant.
teenager, he was working at a sawmill, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mr. Jack of all trades, master of none. You know what I mean? This dude,
Hey.
well, is better than the master of none.
Yeah,
When we finish that out,
Aziz?
it's better than the
Sorry?
master of one.
Yeah.
'Cause- yeah. Anyway, This dude, he knew the value of hard work at a young age, and over the years worked a lot of different occupations. But he had the most love for working at the general store. So by the age of 19, he moved to Clarksville, Tennessee, right down the street, and started working for a wholesome grocery business and quickly rose through the ranks. In 1903, Saunders would marry Carolyn Amy Walker, who came from a pretty well-to-do family. So he married up. Her father was like a big lawyer in the area back in those days. Okay. Despite her father's second guessing, obviously. In 1904, they moved to Memphis, Tennessee. After having their first of eventually 3 children, Memphis at this time was blowing up and commerce was really booming. So general stores, wholesale stores were in high demand. Once there were more people who need more product, acquiring an obsession for reading and studying all the business ins and outs, Saunders began to see how more efficient grocery stores could be and how the giving food on credit system put unneeded stress on business owners, which makes fucking sense. I don't know why nobody had seen that before. Like, people just dip out on credit all the time.
I mean, that's still that old school thing of just like basically
people had more honor.
Deals.
People had more honor.
People had more honor back then.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you knew them. You knew where they lived. That kind of shit.
So when I was growing,
I can pull up on you, bro.
Yeah, when I was growing up, out north side, Alabama, which is actually Samantha, Alabama, but the high school is north side. There was one general store. Mm-hmm. And everybody you just show up and he'd pull out his little spiral notebook and just flip it over and you write it down. Right. If you didn't have, you could just pay for it right then, or you could just add it to the tab.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I used to have a place where I used to go fishing that would do the same thing with fishing tackle. Yeah. And I had like a tab for a long time. Yeah. But those are gone now.
Oh, right. In that situation, like everyone knew Grover the grocer.
Yep.
Thank you, by the way. That's a really good name.
It is. And
Grover the grocer knew everyone. You know what I mean? Like, he knew everybody in the family, and so your daughter could go and buy, quote unquote, buy shit, or just put it on the tab.
Walk in. And, what does Bill need today? Type shit.
Exactly.
Also, I used to have a running tab at the pool hall. Anyway,
that's called a drinking problem.
Oh man,
it wasn't running either. It was stumbling.
Yeah, it was stumbling for sure. I was stumbling and sitting on curbs and all that type of shit. Anyway,
we are better people now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot.
It's been a good journey. Good journey.
Thank you. I agree.
So back to this weirdo. Clarence Saunders, he began thinking on how to make these things easier for the consumer and the owner. So one day, while he was riding on a train, he said the idea hit him like a bolt of electricity. And on September 11th,
nice,
1916,
nice.
This is just painting the perfect picture of this guy. It's just
he
really fantastic, unintentional foreshadowing. I love it.
September 11, 1916, he launched the first self-service grocery store called Piggly Wiggly.
Where'd he get the name?
He said just hit him like a bolt of electricity.
And then, I'm sure pigs hit you pretty hard.
And then
he was trying to change the light bulb standing on top of the toilet in the bathroom.
And the pig came through and knocked him off.
Slipped, hit his head, and that's the image that was in his head.
Piggly Wiggly.
He just got up and was like, Piggly Wiggly. Oh my God.
He said this when he was trying to first promote the business. But then after that, he said that I call it Piggly Wiggly because people ask, why do you call it Piggly Wiggly?
That's a good...
Later on in the years,
those cute little tails. They're just wiggling.
Yeah.
Just wiggling.
The pig wig.
Nice. Pig wig.
When he eventually becomes a pig wig. Yeah.
He's the big wig.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a stretch.
Pigs don't have hair.
Anyway...
It's a hog.
That's why they need wigs.
Boar hair.
If you leave a domestic pig in the woods long enough, it will become a boar.
Yes, it will.
Think about that. Mm-hmm. Facts.
Same,
hot facts.
Same thing with humans.
Hot facts.
Yeah, I'll become a boar in about 2 days. Yeah.
Speaking of boars.
You're more interesting than that.
I don't know about that.
I don't think you're a boar.
Speaking of boars,
okay.
There's a place in Alabama where you can go spear hunt boars.
Got that.
Yeah. That's also. I grew up with a guy that's
Dumb as hell.
Like, yeah, it's stupid as fuck. I grew up with this guy who used to
Spear
take
hunt boars.
who used to go with not spear, a buck knife,
Oh wow.
a buck knife, no gun, a buck knife, and 2 pit bulls, and that's
Okay.
how he hunted.
Well,
fucking
minus
hogs.
the pit
That's
bulls,
crazy.
like, I mean, I definitely remember,
The pit bulls didn't hardly touch the pig.
Okay.
They would gather the pig up.
Yeah,
he would
you go
jump
find
on
it.
its back and slit its throat.
yeah, but I remember
That's
telling
insane.
people, like hunters, it's like, real tough shooting it from 100 yards out. It's like,
Right.
yeah, and I get everything about that, but it's like, hey, go out there with a knife, on their level, and then try it,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So it's like respect in that regard,
Not get gored.
but also crazy person.
Shout out to all our PETA members. Anyway, now picture
People eating tasty animals, of course.
now picture how revolutionary that this actually was. Like, people have never just walked down an aisle in a grocery store. They always just
Right.
sat in the lobby and waited for their grocer to go get their food and bring it back to them. So a customer is so used to letting the grocer take the time getting the goods, goes to walk freely down these aisles and take as much time as they need to get what they wanted. I know it's easy for us to imagine it now, but if you can see how this would blow minds of a consumer, gain instant
Yeah.
popularity.
Also, I don't know if you're going to talk about this, but from like the business standpoint, I mean, it's, proven. That's why we have like the impulse buy sections at the cash register and stuff like that. Like if you actually take the time and you walk through the aisles, like if you got your list, you're coming from the house. So I need bread, milk, eggs, maybe just sugar, and then now you're walking through the aisles and you're in where the sugar is. Like, oh shit, I'm low on flour too. And then you're walking down a little further. It's like, well, actually we do need a little bit of, granola or whatever. Oats, I guess, if we're talking about old school.
Yeah.
So that kind of a thing.
No, it's wild. Genius, actually.
Fuck yeah, it is.
And the first store was on 79 Jefferson Street in Memphis. And it was also the first grocer that strictly took cash and had price tags placed on all of his items for the first time. So they didn't take credit, only took cash. It's the first time you can see how much you're going to spend before you get to the counter. You know what I mean? You can like tally it up yourself, basically. And this made everything more convenient for the customers and secured profit for the business. And with a larger space, the first store being 1,125 square feet,
Damn.
So small.
but way more massive than,
Yeah.
Back
I'm
then.
just thinking about now.
No,
Yeah.
Think about like the Myers, like in Indiana and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
where it's like a complex.
Yeah.
It's a campus.
I mean,
I mean, bro, think about
or a Buc-ee's gas station. Yeah.
oh my God.
Christ,
Yeah.
bro.
It's just a gas
Yeah,
station.
exactly. Like from pump 1 to 12 is
It is
1,000
not
square feet.
just a gas
It's
station.
the best gas
It is
station.
the best.
Come on.
I had
I've
some,
never
like-
been to a Wawa though, and I keep hearing that,
Wawa's
like,
great.
Yeah.
Wawa's all right.
I heard Wawa was cool.
Wawa's all
Buc-ee's
right.
is better, but Wawa's
Wawa's
great.
has the little kiosk
Oh,
you
man.
walk up to and you
Oh,
order
man.
your food.
That's right. The debate is starting. Oh shit!
Nah.
I can read the emails now.
Email us at friends.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh,
Facts,
actually,
period.
actually, for
Fiction.
once, email
At
us.
gmail.
Yeah,
At gmail.com.
yeah.
We're saying right here and right now that Buc-ee's is better than Wawa's.
Like we're
Oh, man.
super
Yeah.
saying that.
I'm super saying it. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Come here. Yeah.
Come out with your emails, baby.
His power level is over 9,000.
Oh my god! That's gonna be a whole side episode now. While this was an incredible innovation and was definitely the beginning of modern day grocery shopping, it also killed other businesses and left many without jobs.
Yeah.
Very similar to the Walmart boom years later. And
Ooh, you should cover Sam Walton at some point this season.
I thought about it when I was looking into him. I was like, well, that motherfucker is kind of
And if
shit
that
too.
happens,
Whoa,
then
he's
also
brutal.
cover Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, that whole thing.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that truly destroyed and are continuing to destroy. It will be the Dollar Generals of America that destroy mom and pops, not Walmart.
Especially
And it's at
DG
a-
Markets.
Yeah, it's at a psychological level too. Like their whole model is anyway. It's fine. Carry on.
Their whole model is.
That's another
serious.
episode.
I-
That's
I-
another
we're-
episode.
To be continued.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do always think like randomly in the most weird place you just find a Dollar General. Middle of a fucking field off of a country
Yeah.
highway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's a fucking Dollar General
Yeah.
somehow.
And it's
like,
doing
the
great.
fuck? Yeah, and it's thriving. And it's like the fuck. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yes, we're gonna put a pin in that one for you listeners out there. With all the convenience of this newly designed way of shopping, Saunders saw an opportunity to apply for a patent on the concept of self-serving store. He filed for it nearly a month after opening and was granted the patent a year later in 1917. He then applied for the patent on the store design, a patent for putting price tags on items.
Oh, wow.
And the patent
Jesus.
for giving shoppers their printed receipt.
Holy shit.
This is okay. Remember, this is Thomas Edison era.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Like
Yeah, bro.
patent law is true law. There's no innovation. It's just like grab it while you can and
Exactly.
hold on to it for dear life.
Exactly. And you begin to see,
That he's the Thomas Edison of grocers? Yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
this
I do see
guy,
that.
where this guy's head is, all right?
Yeah.
So needless to say, he began to get greedy quick. By 1921, there were 615 stores in 200 cities, spanning 40 states. And by 1922, he put shares on a New York stock exchange, and the company sold 50,000 shares at $43 a share.
In
the 20s, bro.
Well, holy shit. You're talking about, okay, so now with inflation and everything, so in the
I didn't do an inflation
20s,
calendar. I don't know.
in the 20s, so I'm going to go ahead and go, you said how much a share?
It was $43 a share, 50,000 shares.
You're looking at like 500 a share.
yeah.
Like three to 500 a share.
In
Nowadays.
1922.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's like Tesla prices.
Yeah. So with the popularity continuing to grow in the next year, 1923, Piggly Wiggly had 1,267 stores with 667 owned by the company and the rest owned by franchises.
One too many.
By this time, there were other businesses copying the model Saunders created, and these names are great.
By the way, on the inflation calculator, it's about $800 a
Damn.
share.
Oh my God, that's
800.
more than that though.
Jesus.
Fuck.
This is in the 20s. That's crazy.
$800 a share.
Yeah. 50,000 of them.
Yeah, that's your whole year's earnings.
Exactly. Back then, bro. I mean, a new car was like $100. Anyway, Saunders created it. Saunders was copied by a lot of different businesses, and these names are fantastic. Handy Andy, Helpy, Selfie,
Oh my God.
Mick or Mac, and Jitney Jungle.
That's the best one.
Jitney Jungle's still around.
Yeah,
Okay,
Jitney
these are
Jungle.
Jitney Jungle,
absolutely-
I've been to a Jitney Jungle
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
in Alabama.
Okay.
Marion County, baby.
So you need to go back over all those because those were all
almost
sex
proud.
workers' names. Like,
Handy Andy, Helpy, Selfie.
like that's that shit you find at the back of like the magazine, you know?
Yeah.
100%.
Helpy selfie just sounds like masturbating.
Yeah, Helpy Selfie, man.
It is, yeah.
You know?
Or you're like really
Help
into
yourself.
your own selfies. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, nowadays,
God.
yeah. Selfies.
Jesus,
yeah.
bless
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's just the phone call. You know, that's,
Yeah.
that's just like doing it over the phone. You got to do most of the work yourself.
a
but,
Helpy selfie
you
is
know,
is
it's a help-
just
yeah, it's
a
a help-
video call.
yeah, it's just helping.
It's just a video call.
just helping.
Yeah.
I mean, then
Oh,
you got,
or YouTube. Yeah.
Then you got Mick or Mac, which is like, choose one.
Yeah.
Jitney Jungle just sounds like some type of sex thing.
Jitney Jungle's
It's all sex things.
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
They're all sex things.
Jitney Jungle is the most ratchet grocery store I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, bro. Jitney Jungle.
It's
yeah.
like a jungle in there.
Could imagine.
And it's jitney as hell. I don't even know what that means.
What an aptly named
bless
grocery
it.
store.
Oh my God. Anyway, moving on. Gaining so much success, Saunders began construction of a pink marble mansion in Memphis, which is years later would become Memphis's first museum called the Pink Palace. Still there today, and it's fucking beautiful.
It's rad, actually.
it's fucking badass.
It's a really
I've never
cool
been to
museum.
Memphis. No.
Oh man,
I've never been to Memphis.
it's good barbecue, good blues.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Natalie
The city-
kind of
the city's kinda
killed it
meh.
for me.
Horrific.
So I just haven't been.
Horrific traffic. You could get shot for a parking spot. But
Yeah.
the food's good and the music's nice on Beale Street.
So the Pink Palace. Okay, got it.
Memphis
Got
is May is solid though.
No,
will
I mean
say
I've
that.
always wanted to go.
Memphis and May is solid. But yes, although he never truly got to enjoy the massive property he built because he was in a war with Wall Street. And that will begin soon after construction started on his Pink Palace. In early 1923, a few of the franchises in New York failed, so this prompted Merrill Lynch and other Wall Street investors to try to bear raid on the stock price of Piggly Wiggly, which is basically spreading false or negative rumors about a company to tank the price of said company.
Yeah.
Now, Saunders' counterattack was to corner the market and buy up all of his company's stock in order to drive up the price. So he even bragged about it in his newspaper ads, and like that he was at war with Wall Street and was buying up, cornering the market. He advertised this shit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And acquired $10 million from Southern bankers to accomplish this task. He acquired 196,000 of the 200,000 shares. The company had surged, like the price surged from $39 to $124 a share.
Oh my
in a matter
God.
of months.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. This dude's a savage, bro. And being blind by the war he was fighting, he forgot one thing.
The fucking company?
You have to pay back your loans.
Oh.
He borrowed $10 million, bro. And with his first payment of $2 million coming up, Saunders had no choice but resign from being president of Piggly Wiggly and turn over all his stock in the company and his massive mansion over to his creditors. So in order to get out of the debt and bankruptcy, he just gave them the everything.
Yeah.
So he saved the company, but he also lost it in the same wind. This obviously outraged Saunders because in the battle with Wall Street, he lost his company, which was actually great for the company because rumor has it that he was crude to his employees and would often shortchange business partners just to keep more profit for himself, which in turn is fucking karma for his bitch ass.
Yeah.
But soon after this defeat, he was quoted to say, "They have it all, everything I've built, the greatest stores of their kind in the world. But it didn't get the man that was the father to the idea. They've got the body of Piggly Wiggly, but they didn't get the soul."
Cue Jitney Jungle.
Yeah. Yeah. Jungle. I mean,
man.
that's the only thing I can think
So,
of. Yeah.
needless to say, he's a little full of himself there. But
No, not really. Nah.
infuriated by the
Stand-up
loss
guy.
of his brand, Piggly Wiggly, Saunders had the brilliant idea to compete with his old company. But how would consumers know it was him and not just some other competitor? Well, it would be in the name. So by June of 1924, Clarence Saunders had 4 new grocery stores across town named Clarence Saunders, sole owner of my name grocery stores.
What the fuck?
And this shit actually worked.
Hold on.
Well,
There's old pictures of Clarence Saunders, sole owner of my name.
This is
grocery
the
store.
1920s. Okay, that is absolutely like all the signs are hand painted.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows the person who made the signs. Like everybody's in on it. So yeah, at that point, as in a town like that, it's the like no.
That's
this
fair.
is my thing.
And also, I mean, you remember how like fucking long book titles used to be back then in the day?
well, and also
They give you like a
academic
synopsis.
journal.
this dude was also covering his fucking shit well because he knew the legality of it. That's why he went ahead and bought up all those patents.
Yeah.
That's why he did that, because that's like that's almost like a slap in the face to law.
Yeah.
Having that name is like, oh, you want it to the T? Well,
Yeah.
here's to the fucking T.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
You know?
that was
So-
basically his mindset.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But the shit worked. In a matter of years until 1933, when the Great Depression forced him into bankruptcy, like most of the nation at the time. So
Wait, so it took till 1933 for it to hit him?
yeah.
Okay, because like
29.
yeah, 29 is when everything fell out. So I mean, good for him.
He kept striding
crawled-
through, and
yeah,
then
he crawled
eventually
through,
it hit him. I'm sure he probably closed 3 and kept 1 open, I'd imagine.
As long as he could.
Well, it didn't hurt that he was in the Southeast.
Yeah,
Because the Southeast wasn't hit as bad
Yeah.
by the Great Depression.
Well, I guess in his mind, they can take my company, but not my damn name. Because also around this time, before the bankruptcy, he acquired a professional football team. Already present in Memphis, and in 1928, he renamed the team Clarence Saunders,
Yeah, he did.
sole owner of my name Tigers.
Oh my God.
Right on.
Oh my God.
Go.
That obviously used to be the Memphis Tigers, but now they're Clarence Saunders, sole owner of my name Tigers.
Fucking, I love this so much.
Like I'm so angry, and I don't
Say
know
more. I've got popcorn over here.
We got. Hey, this actually gets pretty good, right?
People disgust me.
So he basically ran the team like Jerry Jones. disregarding most of the staff and making most of the decisions as the owner. He did whatever the hell he wanted, even throwing his oldest son in a game during the 1929 season, just out of nowhere. It's like, hey, just suit up. You're getting in there.
Yeah, you got
Fuck it, you know? Now, the team would practice at his estate, where he would run around and catch flying punts in his suit, disrupting practice. But he spent his money wisely for a minute and acquired some great players from the area, including Larry Betancourt and Ken Strong, who are both in the College Football Hall of Fame. In order to bring more revenue in for the team, Saunders spent a little money to play some of the big NFL names. So he struck a deal to play against the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers in 1929. And apparently, when the Bears came to town on November 23rd, not everyone was seated when the kickoff was about to happen. So Saunders ran out on the field, stopped the game until all the people were seated in the stadium.
Yeah.
So he basically was like, no, we got more ticket sales before y'all start this shit.
Absolutely.
Ain't no TV, bro. I mean, like,
that's
everybody
true.
gonna sit down first, get all this money first, and then y'all can start the game.
I'm imagining, like, do you remember Miss Brazel, theater teacher?
Yeah, I
like
do.
absolutely would go on stage and stop the show, pull on the house lights, and shame that damn audience.
It was crazy.
What?
Yeah. I mean,
That's wild.
yeah, we all went to high school.
Her name is Miss Brazel, so I imagine she's the
she was
she's the one.
amazing. She was
She was mean though, man.
Sounds like Miss Grimes. From
She-
my
She
was
loved
there-
she loved her kids.
Yeah.
But if you're one of those assholes that were trying to make fun of her kids, hell fucking no. It was crazy. Yeah, so like we all were like, we gotta sit and watch this stupid fucking thing. And it was like, yeah, no, I saw you in third period, that's pretty funny. And then it starts and there's people still do that shit.
Oh, yeah. People still
House lights
talking.
back up, say, you will sit down and you will listen to this and you will be kind and respectful to these people that worked really hard to put on this show
Oh,
for
wow.
you
That's
little idiots.
That's
you
almost
know?
verbatim. No,
I know.
100%.
I'm dead. Yeah, I
didn't remember
this.
it until you said that. I was like, yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, it was
That-
awesome.
Emotional damage out here.
Damn. Yeah, right.
That struck a chord in y'all, man. See, y'all just sat up a little straighter when y'all started talking about. Damn, she had an effect.
She was
apparently. Shout out Miss Braz out here, bro.
So she had been there since the very
You said
beginning.
Brazel?
Brazel, yeah.
Okay. It just reminded me of Rizzle from Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
Reminded me of Brazzers, but anyway.
Oh,
The-
hey.
Pornography.
Anyway,
Sex.
he stopped the game until the stadium was fully seated. The officials pushed back, saying you can't just do this. It's against
Right.
the rules.
Yeah.
And this shithead said, I am the rule of this game.
I am the liquor renders.
Jesus.
I am the rules of this game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, bro. This dude was a piece of work. So, needless to say, the Clarence Saunders, sole owner of my name Tigers, lost that game 39-19.
Oh, dang.
When the Bears scored like 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to seal the win. But on December 15th, a week after the undefeated Green Bay Packers that season won the NFL championship.
Go, Pack, go.
Packers fans are ridiculous. Anyway, so they won the NFL championship that year, undefeated, and Saunders got them to come down to Memphis. Green Bay had only allowed 3 touchdowns to be scored on them that whole NFL season.
Yeah.
And, they thought, shit, easy money. Let's go whoop ass. But the sole owner of my name Tigers smacked that ass 20-6.
What?
Which I guess makes the Clarence Saunders sole owner of my name Tigers NFL champions of 1929.
Nice.
Good job. I had to get a jab in for Grant there.
That's good.
Hey, I compared him to Jerry Jones up top. So
You did.
You
I
know?
got that.
You know?
And I
All right.
actually held back. I held back.
I mean, the narcissism is impressive. It really is.
It's pretty well. So right before Christmas,
I'm now remembering the fact that Wisconsin is like the only other state other than the Southeast. That's just interesting.
oh yeah, I mean he had an effect on him, I guess.
Oh, the Piggly Wiggly stores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That's weird. It's a
Yeah.
weird correlation.
pretty crazy. With all of the hype Sanders built with his team, the NFL reached out to him to invite the team into the league, but he refused, saying the only way he would do this is if he could build a 60,000 seat stadium and only play home games.
What?
He didn't want to travel.
What?
Outside of Memphis. He didn't want to take his team outside.
That's not real life.
This motherfucker this is true story.
He thought he was on. He was
Here's the rules.
He was in God mode.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, what?
It's
Well,
like-
that's just the craziest thing.
Bro, he turned down the NFL because he didn't want to play away games, dog. That's fucking wild.
Also, think about what that would have done for Memphis.
Yeah.
That early on to have an NFL team.
Yeah.
That'd have been crazy, bro. A
Yeah.
60,000 seat stadium too back then.
We
would
wouldn't
be
have
nuts.
the Titans here right now.
That's kind of like Birmingham turning down the international airport that Atlanta took that made Atlanta the largest city in the Southeast.
Yeah.
I mean,
They eventually got Shuttlesworth.
Jesus.
gross.
Good God.
that's funny.
There's an airport there. People fly in and out.
There's a place to fly.
They do 30-minute flights.
What did they miss out on? What Dulles? I mean, come on. It's only the most frequently trafficked airport in the entire world.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
it's something. It's something.
Shuttlesworth.
It's something.
I actually forgot the name of that airport, and I'm from there. Great.
Shouts out to Beham, bro. Be safe at Shuttlesworth, man. There's probably somebody listening to this podcast right now at Shuttlesworth. Let's be honest.
There probably is.
You know?
I hope so.
Yeah. Good
And
luck.
I'm also sorry for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sucks there.
Yeah. It sucks really bad.
It's better than it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you know. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we will never find out what a Clarence Saunders, sole owner of my name NFL Football League, will look like, because he lost the team along with his stores in the Great Depression.
Like, I can't wait to hear, like, what did
I feel
he
like
do
I need to write
then?
these letters down to come up with how you'd pronounce this.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
And,
so,
yeah.
so when he loses all of his shit, how does this guy react? Because he doesn't seem to react to anything well.
So, still down and out in 1935, the Piggly Wiggly madman, had another idea, which was truly before his time.
Oh, no.
He's got something else up his sleeve. Man. Like 2 years after he lost everything again.
He's like, here we go.
I love this guy so
Fuck
much.
it. The name of this concept was called Kedoozle,
Oh, God.
What?
which this shit was wild, actually.
It's a fucking doozy for sure.
It's videos of this like grocery store being, you know, up and running and shit, and it's actually pretty fucking wild. Which some thought was a fun way to say Key does it all, Kedoozle. But of course, Saunders says he just made it up. It was pretty much a big ass vending machine store. He tried to create like an automated shopping experience. A customer would receive a key upon entering the store and could view single units of products in glass cabinets, and one would insert said key, and the
okay.
product would drop down a conveyor belt and take a ride to the front of the store where the checkout counter was, and the amount you want determines how many times you turn the key.
I mean, considering the technology at the time, that's pretty fucking ingenious.
That's really,
It's
really.
fucking nuts. It's like he was a fucking psychopath narcissist, but
A goddamn
dude was smart
genius,
as fuck, bro. Like, it's insanely bright.
Yeah, so was
He
Hitler.
absolutely was.
Yeah, true that.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, hey,
The paintings weren't that bad, you know? Could have had a completely different history.
you know, well,
Anyway,
Yeah.
encourage people around you. That's really it. So encourage the people around you.
Really build them up.
Or you're
see
going
where
to
they
end
go.
up at Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, really.
tell somebody you love them today. Then, once you have selected all of your products, the clerk at the front will tally your bill, you pay, and then you're on your way.
So could we say that he's the grossest?
Hey,
Nice.
Ooh.
that's full circle. It's full circle. Roll that one back. Roll that one back. All right. The idea is wild as him, but he was truly on to something. The first version of this opened in 1937 and had short success because it was abandoned when the U.S. entered World War II. But in 1948, he revisited the idea with an improved version, and it thrived. Maybe it thrived a little too much because the system could not keep up with the demands during peak hours, and Saunders couldn't find a way to fix this issue. So Kedoozle closed for good in 1949. So basically, he couldn't keep everything stocked in the vending machines when 40 people were shopping at the same time.
I mean, there was the huge boom, though, of just World War II. World War II changed everything.
Yeah.
Especially supermarkets. I mean, also, this goes back to like just timing and the timeline being a lot shorter than people realize. But like we're talking about Dollar General. So before this dude man came in and created the first, self-service, supermarket, it was what you were describing earlier, where it's the grocer, and you go in, you give them a list, and they give you everything.
Yeah.
Well, what was before that? It wasn't Dollar General; it was the general store.
General store.
Where it's they have some stuff in there, but the whole idea is that you go in there with that list, and then they order it for you.
Yeah.
And then you go pick it up from them.
Yeah.
Right.
And before the general store, there just wasn't.
If anybody's ever seen where
It
the
was a beaver pelt for a sack of grain. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
it's like my dad's favorite movie, Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh, nice.
They go into the general store
That's
to
morbid
order.
as hell.
Yeah, it's a very fucked movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Don't,
go into
just throw that one on.
They
really.
no.
Don't just throw that on.
You might need a bowl or a Xanax before you watch that. But
Box of tissues.
or just hard drugs.
Or hard drugs.
Jesus Christ! Quit fucking sweeping the leg, goddammit. That's not fucking Karate Kid. Anyway, I'm done.
Okay.
Oh my god!
You swept the fucking leg.
But the whole point of that is that like World War II happens, it changes everything.
Yeah.
So this is the automated technology era, where there's every single thing in your kitchen. It cleans itself, does whatever it's supposed to.
Refrigerators, microwaves.
But
The kitchen of tomorrow, today.
Right.
Hey, refrigerator was killing it back then.
100%. But remember,
Killing it.
refrigerators, it was the ice box.
Yeah, it was the ice
somebody
box,
was delivering
A big block of ice.
You had milkman, kind of
My
situation.
grandmother told me stories about the Iceman and the Milkman. They'd make a big ass cube of ice, and set that bitch up in the freezer and like put your shit in there with salt and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wild.
So at this point, now there's like rough refrigeration, so you're able to store more perishables and that kind of thing.
And then the atomic bomb, and then the microwave oven.
Right. And
Sounds
then
like Oppenheimer.
spam and everything else. The idea of really
Canned
processing everything,
Yeah.
canning everything.
So we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
In the reflection.
Got it.
Because remember, we were talking about Piggly Wiggly shenanigans. Clarence Saunders is just the meat of the story.
Ooh.
But we're going to talk about how processed foods his idea of grocery store changed food from organic to processed and then fucked us up for years. But we'll get there in a second. Saunders, at this point, is still chasing ideas, but also losing his grip mentally and going broke. But he still had one last endeavor before his death. This idea is literally the predecessor to self-checkout. Saunders explains, the store operates so automatically that the customer can collect their groceries, wrap them, and act as the cashier. It eliminates the checkout person, cuts overhead expenses,
God damn.
and enables a small staff to handle tremendous volume.
What a visionary.
Full circle.
I can handle a $2 million volume with only 8 employees.
Wow.
And that shit's happening today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to the person standing there. I don't want to interact with them. I'm going to the
I go self checkout. Literally, the cashier could be looking at me, and I'm like, "What's up, bro?"
I was in AutoZone earlier today. They have self checkout now.
What?
The dude wanders from the back. It was like, "You good? You find everything?" And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, y'all have any other kind of like things than this, And he was like, "Nah, if that's what you see, that's what we got," kind of thing. I was like, "Well, that's pretty much the answer I was expecting." And he was like, "Hey, there's a self checkout." And I was like, "What? Oh, cool." And then he just walked away.
Like, this happened to me at the MAPCO right before you get to Brawley.
Oh, yeah.
I was standing there, like, waiting on this woman to turn around with, my drink and my snack. And she's like, "You paying with cash?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Well, it's self-checkout right there." And she just turned back around. So I was talking cigarettes. And I was like, "Word, son." Like, all right.
Honestly, that lets her keep working.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
It's a great business model, 100%.
His idea of that in the fucking 40s
Yeah.
is fucking insane, bro.
The tech just wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't there.
Hey, when we tried to implement it this last time, the tech wasn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, when everybody would just avoided the self checkouts because, like the plague, just because it never worked right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were going to have to
always
call
glitchy.
somebody over. It was always glitching.
They didn't have cameras.
Yeah. Now, as soon as it's
That shit was poof, boy.
and as soon as it started working, they were like, you know what? We're getting rid of everyone.
Yeah.
But I think the pandemic, I guess, also helped that.
did,
you know,
yeah.
it's where it's like,
Yeah.
no. I
not interacting.
enjoyed not interacting with people. So I'm going
now
to
it's-
choose not
it's
to
normal.
do that now.
It's
So-
normal as fuck.
Did he have a fun, awesome name for it?
Well, this one he's kind of losing his flame, I guess, with titles. So this endeavor was called Food Electric.
Well, that's actually good.
I actually don't mind that.
That's better than like a self-serve electronic checkout provided by Colonel Sanders and the only one
In
in
his
Curly
name.
Sanders of his name, as approved by my attorney.
dot
at law.
dot dot. That is my name.
I didn't look too deep into it, which I should have, but I think him and Colonel Sanders are like similar, like close in family.
Oh, weird.
Ah.
Yeah, like their families were anyway.
Like
that's
Hatfield
weird.
McCoys, that kind of
kind of vibe. Like somewhere along the line, they were kind of related or some shit. I didn't look into it because I thought it was bullshit. But anyway, he had plans to open 2 locations 2 blocks away, or he had planned to open a location 2 blocks away from the first Piggly Wiggly. You know, because
Yeah,
he's
'cause
like
fuck
that.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the store
petty as fuck.
the store never opened because Saunders died of heart failure in 1953. He was a broken man living in a sanitarium by this time.
Whoa.
And even though he built more and innovated more than most anyone in the business field of his time, he essentially died with nothing, suffering the same fate he gave to those small grocery stores at the beginning of his journey.
I mean, if you push literally everyone away your entire life, make
Yeah.
no friends, make everything about you, just the worst narcissist of all time.
Yeah.
Who's going to take care of you at the end?
Yeah, I mean, remember
The
he had a
state,
wife. He
that's
had a
who's gonna
wife and
take
3
care of you.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Where
just-
they
And they were like, nah,
you good, bro?
take him.
Appreciate that little money you gave me.
Yeah.
I'll holler at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's the story of Clarence Saunders. Dude is wild. But Piggly Wiggly definitely revolutionized how we see food, how we seafood,
Yeah.
how we acquire food and the food that we eat. Because back before Piggly Wiggly, like I said, this shit was like locally grown, locally sourced. Like you probably knew the person that grew the corn, and you know all this shit was local.
I had no idea. Like we all grew up with Piggly Wiggly, and I felt like it was just the small town chain.
Yeah.
you know, in like Hueytown, Pleasant Grove, you know, that kind of thing.
It's because they picked it up and did it better everywhere else. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
it just
they
looked like the little
piggybacked-
shitty, like almost Dollar General-esque.
They
kind
They
of-
didn't
Back
have a
on Piggly
narcissist
Wiggly.
in charge.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, you got from Piggly Wiggly up to what Publix, Aldi now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're like the super Whole Foods.
Aldi crossed the pond to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very true. This is
I would
very
say that Publix is kind of the top tier on that.
it's very nice. It's very bright.
I mean, Whole Foods is supposed to be the upper echelon of
Yeah.
all that.
As
but
far
that's
as
them going
demographic and
back
price
organic,
goes, I would
though.
say,
yeah.
They're going back
See-
organic and
see,
local.
That's the thing. is
You're paying
we're-
top
we're
dollar
getting-
for
We're
that
getting
shit.
back to the blend of like actually good source food. In
Yeah,
the
but you got to
idea of
have a
Piggly
good
Wiggly.
source fucking job
Yeah.
to buy that
Well,
good
that's-
source.
for sure.
Well, that's
fucking
actually
food.
kind of the point in that, like, you now, in order to source something locally and organically, if you're not doing it that super old school way, which I guess our version of it would be fucking grow it yourself or go to the farmer's market and you in there you kind of get what you get.
Yep.
You know, but if you're talking about like the idea of a proper general store mixed with a supermarket or whatever, that would be Whole Foods. That's more of an indication of the issue of our like supply chain and the way that we've like purposefully ruined it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, we've completely bastardized.
Theoretically, it'd be
Organic anything.
Be so much cheaper to get something grown by someone 10 miles down the road than something grown 50 miles down the road, packaged, shipped 100 miles away, processed, canned, preservative packed, and then shipped back over, you know, 2 miles to the store that you usually go to at a convenience.
Well, this is the catch-22 of globalism. We were just talking about that too, where it's the idea of tech at this period of time, being able to ship things all across the world, and it's still and being able to preserve it. That whole So before it's not in season,
Right.
so you can't.
Which
have
is
it.
fine.
Yeah,
I got
that's
no qualms
completely
with that
fine.
shit.
Oh, bro. I grew up with that.
Yeah.
Same.
So I grew up with it's not in season. And then Sam's Club had watermelon in December, and I was like, bro.
Let's get some let's get some damn cold watermelon.
What were we talking about? Seafood. Yeah, we were talking about seafood.
Yeah.
So like, there's lots of us, especially that grew up close to the Gulf. Where
Yeah, because I said I wanted a grouper sandwich, and Carolyn brought up the fact that she found a place here that had a grouper sandwich, and I said I'm not buying a grouper sandwich from a landlocked city.
Right. But you had one exception for like
If I go
oysters.
pick it out myself. Oh, oysters, the southern. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go there.
So there's a spot, but you know their distribution.
Yeah, I do know their
And this all goes into distribution.
Yeah.
So it's landlocked. So where are you getting fresh in quotes Gulf? And you see these high dollar restaurants that say fresh fish flown in every day. Kind of situation where it's fresh, but okay, well, what did we have to do to get that fresh fish over here?
Spend more money.
Yeah. And then it gets even more ridiculous where, the deserts of, California and basically all the drought areas, all the farms are growing, alfalfa and other things to ship across the Pacific to Japan, China, and everywhere else so they can feed it to cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can raise those cows and then
ship back over to
the
us.
cows back over to us. Absolutely insane. We're growing alfalfa, super like water dependent.
Yeah.
In a desert, so we could ship it across.
To get fucking cows.
Yeah, it's like that
crazy.
comedian. I can't remember his name right now. He's always like relatively clean. He sort of self-deprecating in the sense that he calls himself an idiot. But a bit of his forever ago was like driving on the interstate being like, well, wait, they have logs. You need logs. Why not just have logs for your logs?
Yeah, supply and demand, man.
Yeah.
Supply chains are crazy these days. And like you said, World War II like changed all that, and it made processed foods way more popular, which ultimately made us less healthy.
Yeah.
In the long haul. I mean, they're still dealing with that shit in America today. Like, still affects.
We still
of
don't
that.
know the effects of all that.
Yeah, I mean, bro, so many chemicals, so many.
I mean,
Bro, we were eating purple ketchup when we were kids. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying?
there is
shit
a
as
whole,
well, bro.
Tyson chicken had like very noticeable effects on like the growth rate, how soon people, like how soon
Mature.
People mature.
Yeah.
Like period rates are like so much younger than
Dog,
natural.
there's high school seniors that look like 30-year-olds.
Exactly.
And they're fucking 6'4" and jacked and about to play college football this year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're 18 years old, bro.
Yeah.
And they look like fucking LeBron James.
Yeah, and
It's fucking insane.
I fucking 5'7" ass growing up eating organic shit that my grandmother grew. See what that gets you. You know what I mean? So maybe we should all eat processed
I grew
foods.
up next to a farm chewing on fucking clean sugar cane and what y'all call mascadines, I call scuppernons. Scuppernogs.
Yep.
I can just snacking on figs, fresh off the tree. You know
Actually,
what I mean?
that is another one. Email us, please, at friends.facts.fiction@gmail.com. If you've ever fucking heard the word scuppernogs instead of muscadines, please, I just want to make sure that Justin's not the only person on this
It
planet.
can't just be my family that calls them fucking scuppernogs or scuplins.
I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah, bro. That's some backwood Bama shit, bro. I'm telling you, dog. Like straight up, like my great grandmother was born a sharecropper.
Right.
So like my family is like 2 generations away from, like, my grandmother's house was right next to a farm.
Right, exactly.
And we would just walk over there, get some fresh shit, go back to her house, go down to the pond, do some fishing. Like that's how we ate on the weekends. Last time when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So going from that for the whole country to just walking into a well-lit building with shit from China is like
The craziest thing in the world.
Yeah, how the fuck do you expect the whole population to stay healthy or to make the right decision on what to eat when it's so readily available and convenient and comfortable to get?
Shout out to all you fucking snowflake pussy bitches out there.
Yes.
Shout out. But
So it
I'm
gets
just
even-
I'm just saying, like you like you Zoomers and you fucking Instagram, my gram, it's on my gram. Listen to this. You couldn't have fucking grocery shopped fucking 50 years ago, asshole.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know everything about what you're getting back in the day, and now you just, this is new.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
try it.
And by the way, you couldn't have put that on your story either because you didn't have a fucking phone.
What's hilarious is like there's some sort of analog of that to what the boomers were dealing with, because there's the ones that started this all in World War II.
Yeah.
So the boomers who are generations above us, and we're making fun of the Zoomers.
Sure.
They had their own version of it. But the one thing I wanted to get out real quick is that as far as like we all have to take multivitamins now, like have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you should if you're not.
Right.
Yeah, every morning, dog.
Yeah.
But the reason why.
So they're not getting all the fucking vitamins from the food.
Right.
Because they bleached it out of it, or they cooked it out of it.
Well, so there's the cooking thing.
Cooking
too.
kills 70% immediately.
Right. So it's a raw diet, but they were cooking the same thing before. I'm just saying if you take like an heirloom tomato that was grown in, say, like, I don't know, 1890. We'll say that. And then an heirloom tomato, from today, same seed or whatever, but it's grown in different ground, and it's the ground that supplies the nutrients. So with big agriculture trying to create all this food just so that we can throw it in a dumpster.
Yeah, and most spray chemicals on the shit too. So I mean,
they're throwing chemicals on it to
wash your fruits and vegetables before you eat them.
Yeah, and that's to keep like the the pests off it, so they can be able to have a higher yield, that kind of thing. But it's also remember like all the slash and burn portions of like schooling and that kind of thing, and how they kept it's like, okay, why are we talking about this? Because it's huge. It led to the Dust Bowl. Led to everything else, but it gets all these nutrients from the soil, and they're only putting in like 3 big ones. We in lawn care deal with like the micronutrients versus the macronutrients.
Yeah, of course.
And that's been why does organic taste better? Why is it better for you? In addition to not having all the chemicals on it,
It's that good dirt, baby.
it's because it has more nutrients in it.
Exactly.
It's more than just a taste thing. In a situation where it actually tastes great, it's like, okay, well, eat this one, great, it's cheaper, that kind of situation. But also take your multivitamin or you're going to suffer from scurvy, kind of situation.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. Yeah, that's the only thing I got on Amazon Day. Vitamins.
Oh, I thought you were about to say scurvy.
No.
Wait, you could order that now?
Damn, man, I need to order a case. I got a bunch of motherfuckers I'd like to fuck up.
Just bite into that lemon, man.
I need a few days off is all. It's the only way to get out of work these days. Got to order the old scurvy. 2-day delivery, they say.
That is hilarious. That sets up a skit in my brain that is fucking great. It's like somebody orders a case of scurvy and it comes in like a Coke can kind of a deal. It's like,
It would come at a Coca-Cola can.
yeah,
for
it would.
sure.
For sure. Yeah. Extra aspartame.
You probably get the shit from Coca-Cola anyway.
But like imagine the commercial, the advertisement for it too. Like you go through all that and then like slow pans over and there's a fucking pirate there. And then they give you the old scurvy.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Man, where's
You got
Johnny
that-
Depp when you need him?
No, or it's just a pirate the entire time, and he's like, "Do you need a day off of work? There, just go to Amazon.com and order the scurvy case."
So we can even go one. So the
Case of
best.
scurvy, you get a case of scurvy.
Yeah.
So the best commercial of all time, the Squatty Potty commercial, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
It's-
It's the best.
Squatty Pot's
so
nice.
just basically replace all of that. So Justin's in place of the unicorn, okay, and then we've just got a pirate in place of like the prince, like the Prince Charming,
Okay.
and
I
that's
like it.
done.
I like it.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
all. We could shoot this tomorrow if we really wanted to.
We could shoot this tomorrow.
If anybody wants to film that, let us know.
Yeah. Also, send us your money so that we can actually finance it.
Do that.
We want to do it right.
That's true. Give
You
us
can,
money.
always hit us up, friends period, facts period, fiction @gmail.com. Hit us up. And that's dot, not the actual word, period. I've had people say that question before.
It's fine. I mean, but if
to
you
be
don't want to
literal
give
these days.
money to us, like email and explain why.
Yeah.
Like, we want to know.
And give us that 5-star review. Follow us on Spotify. That really does help. And you can always hit us up on socials if you have any ideas. We love covering things that people suggest. We've done it many a time in our podcast career.
Yeah, no, we have we'll call him a super fan and a good friend, and he's been on the podcast at least twice.
Yeah, at least twice.
A motherfucker texts me Wikipedia links and Instagram things. Yeah. He knows I barely ever get on Instagram, so he just texts me a link to Instagram.
Yeah.
Which is,
Straight
by the
to
way,
the phone.
how you
The
should
best
do
way to
it.
do it?
Yeah, it's the best way to do it. I've got like a pretty long list, just thanks to that one dude alone, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Shouts out McThrill.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is all thank you,
McThrill.
McThrill. But like it is all logged, and I plan on covering each and every one of those. It's going to take me a fucking while because he must read a lot.
He does read a lot. He's into a lot of things.
Yeah.
We recently found the Unknown Bones documentary on Netflix.
I know, I'm so excited
Another
about that
suggestion
shit.
for your viewing
Ooh,
purposes.
I'm so excited about
I've
that.
not seen it yet, but it's supposedly they're finding like a link between humanoids and humans. And it's it's a burial site, ancient burial site that is like not human bones, but not primate. Like it's
Oh,
it's wild
snap.
shit, bro. It's wild
right.
shit. Like in real life, this is like real shit.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either, but like archaeologically speaking, anthropologically speaking, there it is. You've got like primates and then like pre-humanoids, and then there's a gap, and then you have like Homo erectus, and then you have Homo sapiens. We don't really know
What that bridge is there.
what that
And
bridge
I think
is.
they found it. In
May
this
have found a
documentary.
cave.
And we got to stop giving out free fucking promo. Anyway, so that was Piggly Wiggly shenanigans, man. Tell us what you think about Clarence Saunders. Was he a genius or just an asshole with a brain? Who knows? Probably both. Anyway, I'm Justin Hammonds, and I'm saying love, live life, because it's worth living, y'all.
And I'm Drew Shellnut, and I'm saying stick your head in a book every now and then.
There you go.
Grant Bramlett here. I'm going to delineate from my usual sign off and say my personal favorite commercial is this new one. I think it's like Little Caesars or some shit like that, but it's they're advertising for flatbread, thin crust pizza, and they're on a lake, and he's telling his son, he's like, I always go to this lake and I eat this pizza, and it's not only good for eating, but it's good for skipping. And he goes, and it like skips across the lake, and then quick pan to father-daughter, and it was like, I've been coming to this lake for years. And pizza just pops out of the water. It's so great. And he's like, there's one now. And he catches it. And he's like, I got one too. It's like, the lake provides.
That's an amazing commercial.
It's really
I've definitely
good.
seen that commercial.
It's a really
and
good
I
ad.
died laughing when I first seen it. There's another good one. Damn shit. Now we're back in the podcast. It was promotion for NHL All-Star game, I think. And this one of the star goalies, I think, or something, were like, yeah, I just had a son. He's 2. Yeah, he's grown. And the other hockey star is like, so he's on the ice already? Skating, right? And it's like, he's 2 years old, and his 3-year-old like skates behind him. Like, well, I guess he's not going to play hockey. NHL All-Star game. That's so fucking great, bro.
That's really good.
The gear's like too big and shit. Like, that shit is great. I don't know if it's still running because All-Star game's over. But anyway, yeah. Jules.
Well, I'm Julie Francis, and on a serious note, just remember, trans rights are human rights. It's a real thing.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's not about not doing it in front of your face. This is me. So let me be me and get out of your local Tennessee legislature if you're trying to prevent that, please, because it's bad.
Yes,
Anyway,
very much,
there you
very
go.
much so.
Yeah. Vote for your neighbor, because we are your neighbors.
Yeah,
Nice.
big facts. Listen, and go vote. It's coming soon, right?
Yeah.
Soonish, I think.
Yeah, different places have like early voting going on, and remember, your local elections matter just as much.
Yeah, it's slightly more, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's your immediate.
like put your focus on there. I mean, and that's everything from your school board,
Yes.
to your county clerk. Just Just make sure that there are people that.
Yeah, honestly, you have to do a little bit of due diligence to like read up on the boring ones. You know what I mean? Like the boring positions.
But do it 'cause
those are
it's
the
worth
important ones.
It's definitely worth it. And don't just vote for a name. Actually, look into the shit.
Yeah.
We love y'all, man. And stay beautiful out there. And try to stay cool. It's been a hot fucking summer, y'all. We love y'all. This has been a podcast called Friends, Facts, and Fiction. And we out.
Thanks for listening and stay tuned for the next installment. Find us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date on all things Friends, Facts, and Fiction. Our Instagram handle is friends_facts_fiction. As always, please reach out to us. You can send any of your questions, praise, and fact-checking to friends_facts_fiction@gmail.com. It's important to us to only propagate the truth, and we'll correct any errors we may have made. Your hosts and researchers are Justin Hammonds, Grant Bramlett, and Drew Shellnut. Our episodes are produced by Grant Bramlett. Additional producership provided by Grace Higgs. Our recording engineer is Grant Bramlett. Lighting design is provided by Justin Hammonds. This has been a production of Friends, Facts, and Fiction.
Gotta get them out of the way. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool. So today we're going to be hosted by Justin Hammonds. Oh, this is Friends, Facts, and Fiction or whatever. I don't really know. And it's something about Piggly Wiggly. Go ahead, Justin.
We can.
Go ahead, Justin. Fucking
Here we go. Here we go. We're in it.
Just straight in NPR style. And this is the. Whoa, bitch. Give me a backdrop first.
Imagine a time before the modern grocery store. Wait, what's going on?